Hey everybody, hey Aaronators, and welcome back to my channel where we react to music but always do it honestly. And today guys, we're gonna be checking out V's Stigma. A lot of you guys have requested me to react to this one and I'm really excited. I'm a little afraid, to be honest, because he might sway me away from Jungkook being my bias, and there is a chance that I'm gonna like V's voice better than Jungkook's, but yeah, we'll see guys. I think after reviewing that live band performance, I really want to hear more of their voices in a solo setting, in a solo song. So probably in the near future you can expect a lot of videos, a lot of reactions to their solo songs, to Jimin, to Jin, V in this case. And you guys can comment down below which songs exactly I should review for each of them to make sure, you know, I pick the right ones. But with that said, let's jump into the video. Before we do that, of course, make sure you check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. Nice chill beginning. Okay, right away guys, I love how little background music there is, so the focus is purely on his voice, and that's what I've been expecting from this song. That's what I've been hoping for. It's so minimalistic, it's crazy, and I love it. There's only these like hi-hats maybe, and bass that also acts as a drum, and occasional piano. That's it. So the song really brings out his voice, guys, and his voice. I mean, can you think of anyone who sounds even close to him? Like, he sounds very gentle and soft, especially in the beginning here, but at the same time his voice it kind of fills out the sonic space. It feels big and powerful at the same time. It's a really interesting combination of vocal qualities, and honestly I don't think I've heard that before. He's got such an interesting voice, such a unique singer, and his style, you know, as well, how he manipulates his voice. It's not only about having that voice type, you gotta know how to use it to make it sound good. Because if you guys remember, I mentioned that in my previous reactions, he hits the same notes as other guys hit, but he's got a lower voice type, so he has to use more of his lighter part of his voice. So and he does it brilliantly, let's admit that. Alright, just like with Jungkook's Euphoria, right now I'm not reading the lyrics. I want to focus just on the music, just on his voice, and I'm gonna go back at the end of my reaction and re-listen to the whole thing with the lyrics. I forgot to do that with my reaction to Euphoria. I'm so sorry guys, but I'm gonna do it this time, hopefully. Whoever was working on this song, the producers, they did such a great job. I love how the music, the background music, complements his voice, and the melody on his voice as well. It sounds amazing. I love the bass. It sounds very full and warm, and it goes very well with the background vocals by V. He goes an octave lower below the main vocals, and it also creates this fullness to the song, to the sound. Let's listen to that once again. So right now I'm gonna play the part that I'm talking about, and my left hand is gonna represent the main vocals and the right hand the background vocals. So it's a little bit easier for you to understand, maybe to hear it. So I'm gonna put my right hand up when the background vocals come in, okay? Sounds so pleasant, guys, so good. And once again, the bass goes very well with his voice, in my opinion. Now, the next part I'm playing for you guys is either pre-chorus or the chorus, and I love his breathy head voice right there. The way he switches and like goes high and light right there. Let's take a listen. so beautiful, guys. Wow. Wow, this is good. This song is good. V is good. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, here we have the chorus, and like, where do I even begin with this one, guys? I love the introduction of a new instrument, some sort of wind instrument, maybe a saxophone or something like that. And it just cranks up the intensity for the chorus a little bit, makes it a little more interesting. And of course, that's what you would expect from the chorus. That's a great decision in my opinion. But you know, I still love how it doesn't overpower his voice. The focus still stays on his voice primarily. And also the introduction of this wind instrument makes the chorus sound a little more jazzy than the beginning of the song. And that piano especially playing in the background also sounds kind of jazzy to me. And as for his vocals, he sings the chorus primarily in his head voice, which sounds very pleasant once again. And I think it's a great decision in this case, because if he tried to really push his voice and make it sound big and loud and powerful, it wouldn't work for this song, not at all. So just like I said, guys, it's one thing to have a good voice, and a completely different thing to know how to use it for different kinds of songs, for different styles of music, to blend registers nicely, you know, just to make your voice do whatever you want to do, whatever you have in your head, you know? It's a completely different skill, and it definitely takes a lot of practice, and he clearly worked really hard for it. Oh, nice. Wow. Okay, in this part, there's three interesting things that I noticed and that I wanted to talk about. And the first one being these sprinkles, like the sound of, I don't know, just, I don't know what to call it, sprinkling magic or something, just sprinkling goodness. Let's take a listen at what I'm talking about. Just that sound effect, guys, in my opinion, it brings down the intensity of the chorus really nicely and kind of prepares you for the upcoming verse. And now the second thing, just before the second verse begins, there's this music pause where only the instruments are playing, and I really love what they did for the sound effects right there. Let's take a listen. Again, there's nothing really special about it. It's just some sort of hi-hat. I guess it's hi-hat. I'm really not good with like drums terminology, so I might be wrong about this one. But yeah, what they did for the sound effect for that, like that sounded really cool. And again, this music break, it creates a breathing room, you know, for your brain to kind of chill and cool down from the chorus and prepare for the verse. And now the third thing is this little, I wouldn't call it a run or a riff. It's like a very simple riff, just the way he comes down from his head voice back to like chest voice dominant mix. Let's check it out. So again, that part just shows how skilled he is as a vocalist, because you gotta be able to blend your chest voice and head voice perfectly to make such a smooth, nice downward transition from the head voice down. Pretty sure I sound like a vocal coach at this point. And guys, don't get me wrong, I'm not a vocal coach, okay? Just think of me as a guy who likes music and knows a thing or two about vocals, knows a thing or two about a few other things, but in no way I'm a vocal coach, okay? After Tristan Paredes began that trend of vocal coach reacts, and he really blew up. Every vocal coach now is trying to make a YouTube channel and do reactions, and I think YouTube at this point is really oversaturated with that type of content. I'm just a guy who likes music and who likes BTS, okay?
그때 나한테 왜 그랬어?
It's interesting, after hearing his voice throughout the whole song and kind of getting used to it being light and soft and gentle, then that part comes in when he just says something, when he's not singing, and it's way lower and way deeper, his speaking voice, and it kind of takes you by surprise right there. Wow, he can be so different if he wants to, and I'm pretty sure there are some songs where he goes like really low and utilizes this advantage of having a lower voice type. So of course it's easier for him to go lower and sound more beefy down there. For example, if someone like Jimin tried to go for super low notes, the best thing that would happen, he just wouldn't sound good there, and the worst thing, he simply wouldn't be able to hit those notes. For V, it's not a problem, and it's awesome that he embraces his voice type and uses it to his advantage. Alright, so here the bridge comes in, and boom, just all the instruments, they're pulled back. Pretty much it's just his voice at this point, and he starts singing these new lines. And I said I wasn't gonna pay attention to the lyrics, but sometimes, my eyes would just drift to that part of the screen, and I saw "I'm sorry, my brother," and the occasional lines that I saw beforehand, I thought he was singing about a girl, and now it seems like he's singing about his brother, or just a brother, his friend maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna figure that out when I go back and re-listen to the whole thing with the lyrics. Oh. Wow. Yo, V, I'm sorry, my brother, but like, what did you just do? I think those high notes were reserved for Jimin? What? Is he trying to say that despite having a lower voice type, he can go just as high as Jimin? Wow. Oh. I think if you've watched my reactions for quite some time now, I think you know that whenever I make this sort of sound, I'm just kind of lost for words. Let's just go over that part once again and have one more listen. You know what, guys? In the vocal community, it's jokingly considered a curse if you're a baritone and if you've got a lower voice type, because you have more difficult time hitting the same notes, the notes that are quite easy for tenors. But here we have a great example that having a lower voice type is not a curse in any way. You can use your lower notes to your advantage, the powerful lower notes, and then if you're skilled enough, if you practice enough, if you got good technique, you can go just as high, just like tenors. So honestly, I really respect V for exploring and using all parts of his voice, not just the lower part, the one that comes more naturally to him. Thank you guys for commending me this one. I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. It's such a beautiful song. He's got such a beautiful voice. I love him, guys. I love him. Now, speaking about my bias, I think it's still Jungkook. It has to be Jungkook. I love V. Don't get me wrong, but still my bias is Jungkook. Yo guys, it's Aaron from the future here. I forgot to record my reaction and little analysis of the lyrics, so I'm coming back. I'm coming to the past from the future. You'll figure out the whole story when you watch the next video, but now I'm gonna watch and check out the lyrics for this song. Watch the lyrics. What am I saying, guys? Okay, anyways, let's jump in. Wow, guys, when I was recording the reaction, I was hoping that the lyrics will explain the song a little better to me and I'll understand it more, but honestly, it's not really the case. I think I'll have to watch some sort of explanation of the lyrics for this song to really figure this out. Anyways, guys, I'm going back to the future and the boring era and the airing in the past is taking over. Okay, bye. Yeah, guys, I can't wait to check out Singularity by him. That reaction is gonna come out pretty soon, by the way, so stay tuned. But if you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed this song, then you know what to do now. You leave a like. You leave a like, you subscribe, and you click the bell. Sometimes I use the same hand gesture as I use for the bell to point to the like button, so it becomes this. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video, Aaronators. As always, take care, keep listening to great music, and love.